Hey, my super beautiful, lovely, gorgeous souls. It's Lizzie the Lightworker here. Welcome to my channel, guys. Today we're working on a video for Libra. We're in Libra season, and this is going to be for inner child healing for Libra. So if you guys in the spiritual community are involved, you'll know that inner child healing is one of the most important things that we can do. It's going back in time, literally, and looking at your child's self and trying to identify things that maybe were painful or hurtful or wrong or traumatic or any of those things that, in your everyday life now may affect it or it may affect your relationships. So let's get right into this, and we're going to use Energy Oracle. And I have pulled one card to represent the inner child from the Heal Yourself reading cards. So this is Energy Oracle, and we're going to get a card out now for how does your inner child feel? All right, so your inner child feels maybe a bit abandoned by your adult self, because with the walking away, it's sort of like you may have just wanted to sort of abandon all the bad things that happened to you, or sort of like bury them or push them under the rug and sort of just keep moving in life. Your day-to-day life may require you to just be strong and bull through things and just try to forget the past or forget traumas as they occurred. Instead of dealing with them or facing them, it may have forced you away from them or forced you to bury them. So your inner child could feel that instead of dealing with things, maybe from the past or even in your current life, you choose to walk away from them. They may be too painful for you to deal with because deep down at the root cause is whatever occurred in childhood. So if this is something that you maybe learned to do at a young age as a coping mechanism, you would continuously do this through life. Instead of facing things or confrontations, you may choose to walk away from them. You also may choose to be walking away from almost like yourself, when yourself most needs you, like your soul is always calling for healing. Excuse me, whether we believe that or not. Our soul is always calling us for healing. So it's calling us to be present in the moment. So what this is telling you is be more present in the moment in terms of healing. And if something painful is happening to you in the moment, try to deal with it in the moment rather than brushing it aside or, saying, well, I don't have time to deal with this. I'm too strong for this. Really deep down, you're sort of burying more to deal with. Over time, it just grows. So this is telling you that yes, there were painful things in your childhood. It may have been easier for you to walk away rather than face them. So you will be given opportunities throughout life to face these things. And that is really what your inner child wants you to know, is try to address the past, try to not make this a pattern for the future. Okay? So what did you lack as a child maybe that could have actually led you to feeling this way? So we're getting caring connections. So it could be that you grew up in a environment or with a family that was a little less emotionally aware, where they didn't maybe show affection. Okay, that's definitely something that would cause you to sort of harden and not really be that much in touch with your emotions, because these two cards are sort of getting me to lead me to believe that this could cause you not to be that in touch with your emotions. So if you lack these caring connections, or you had people that cared, but maybe they didn't know how to show it, or maybe they weren't expressive, and it caused you to sort of learn that maybe you couldn't be reliant on caring connections to help you through tough times. You had to sort of rely on yourself and be very strong for yourself and not rely on anybody that you could turn to or go to. Maybe you weren't allowed to have a voice. Maybe that was something that was a problem. Or you were just taught to sort of bowl through these things and walk away from bad things and bury them. And you know what? Yeah, you got hurt. Well, come on, let's toughen up. Oh, you fell off the horse, get back on. It could be more that you had a little bit of a harsh sort of upbringing or harsh undertones when you were dealing with, difficult situations in life. But caring connections is everything we need. It could be that you grew up in a family that maybe was split, could have been split up a bit. You could be that you were a child of divorcees, and it costed you sort of trust when it comes to affection. Okay, so that could be a bit of what is the problem with the inner child. And this is all good, Libra, because we want to heal these things. So if we bring them out into the open and we become aware of them, we can start to work on healing them, or actually even just work on accepting them. So something that your inner child maybe feels scarred from. Something that scarred your inner child a bit. What is something that could have scarred your inner child? So we're getting envy. So I don't know if you were exposed to envious people at a young age. People could have been, just that way around you. They could have been envious people. Envy is something that you sort of could have learned. Maybe you had one or both parents that were envious of everybody else around them. They may not have verbalized it, but it could be that their actions showed that they were envious of those around them, and it sort of taught this to you at a young age. And we're saying scarred because that definitely is something that, like, when we say scar, it's not that it can't be healed. It's just that it's like a deep wound and it's sort of visible, but we ignore it. Okay? Something we don't like to talk about, or something that is like ugly in our past. Okay, so that is something that could be a deep wound that will require extra TLC, loving care and tenderness, and sort of gradually bringing this to the surface. So it could be that, because it maybe was a learned behavior, like I said, or you could have had less of caring connections and hardened up, or you could have been around, like I said, people that were like that and sort of taught this to you. It's like monkey see, monkey do. So if you grew up around it, you would become it. And maybe unwillingly, maybe just part of some emptiness that filled some emptiness, becoming envy. Envy is an emotion, not a good emotion, that could fill emptiness. Sometimes we don't realize how filled up we are with bad emotions. And to purge them out doesn't mean that we will return to being empty. It actually means that we can become new whole people. So that could have left your inner child scarred a bit. So how does it feel? Like, let's just say how it affects your life now. How does it feel on the impact of your life now? How does it affect your life now? Okay. It could make you fearful to explore your emotions or explore new territory with new people. It could make you be sort of in a comfort zone type lifestyle where you see the bigger picture. You're looking at it. You want it. It's like, oh, I can't just put my and it's sort of like these doubts and fears and the envy and the lack of caring connections and the wanting to sort of like brush things under the mat make you sort of fearful to take a step into that gate and see what's waiting for you. So we get sort of in this comfort zone, comfort level, can't be challenged, pattern. So that could be affecting your life. It could be not allowing you to seek greater opportunities for yourself, or greater expansion of yourself emotionally, greater growth of yourself emotionally. So that's something to work on. And baby steps, as always, like I say. But that could be definitely affecting. If you look back on what we've talked about so far leading up to this point, you may be afraid to go for a bigger job or a promotion or something like that. Or you may be afraid to keep going in a relationship. Like, in other words, you're afraid to fizzle out, or you're afraid to take the next step. This is about taking the next step. So that's how it affects your life now. So let's talk about something you can do to help your inner child heal. And we're getting Temple Path. Now, you can take this, a couple of ways, guys. It's whatever your spiritual beliefs are. So if you're part of the spiritual community and you're a spiritualist and you have many beliefs, this is telling you to sort of hone in on what feels the most right for you and sort of get back to the roots of some type of belief system. Whatever your religion is, whatever your belief system is, it's sort of telling you to sort of get back to that, because there will be healing within that. Once you realize that you're a divine being, you're a child of God, you're a child of light, you are part of mass creation. That's the most beautiful thing. You can sort of get yourself back to those roots, get yourself back to your belief system, that it's sort of like you can hold that. It's very comforting to have something. And it will definitely help you heal. Or it could be exploring a new path of spirituality completely. It could also be your spiritual journey and the obstacles that you're facing. So leading up to this new path in life could be that you have to purge out these things that we talked about here in the reading. So up until this message, once you're able to start to purge these things out, I feel like you can open up more spiritually. You can be more like psychic, more in tuned, more, willing to accept divine guidance. Okay, so how can you support your inner child? So with the Magician in the Mirror, it's asking you to really sort of take a deep look at yourself. Take a deep look at the things that have happened to you in life. Take a deep look at the childhood aspect of life and how you evolved. You really have to examine both sides, the good, the bad, and find the middle ground. And that's what has to do with being balanced. So this is encouraging you to try to find better balance in life, better balance of emotions and better balance of, allowing yourself to be more open, allowing yourself to find more caring connections and let your energy flow freely with another person and sort of fill yourself up, because there is sort of like this vibe of emptiness here in this reading. So taking a good deep look at yourself, realizing your power, realizing how powerful you really are, that you have the power to say yes or no, you have the power to move or stay stagnant. So I think that's what it's trying to tell you. That's how you can better support yourself. What's a message from your inner child that will help you down the line? Let's grab one more energy oracle card. Okay, appreciation. So I'm feeling like this is a good message for you to learn to sort of appreciate yourself a little more. Appreciate so far the lessons that life has taught you, good or bad. Appreciate how far you've come in life and how far you're willing to go, appreciating others around you. But to your inner child, you might want to say, I appreciate you. Talk to yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but if you talk to yourself, it's sort of like you're going back in time and lessening the blow so you can sort of, purge a little bit of that away from you. It's like chipping away at a block. And, at the end, when you get down to the inside, the core, the root of this block, it's like there's gold and beautiful diamonds shining inside. That's what we want to get to when we're talking about inner child healing. We want that diamond to shine, but all these things dust it up and murk it up and cloud it and make it hard to get to. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know what you think. Give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next reading. Love and light.